From the frozen expanse of Siberia to the rolling steppes that stretch toward the heart of Asia, Russia's landscape is a canvas of immense scale and profound mystery. For millennia, these vast, untamed lands have been the cradle of civilizations, a stage for the rise and fall of empires, and the birthplace of legends. This is not just a story of czars and cathedrals. It is a journey much deeper into the ancient soul of a land that has shaped humanity for thousands of years. Before the first cities rose, this land was alive with the whispers of its earliest inhabitants. Neolithic settlements, discovered beneath layers of earth, tell a story of survival and ingenuity. Rock carvings, etched into cliffsides, are a silent testament to their beliefs, a language of symbols connecting them to the cosmos and the spirit world. Imagine a time when the world was new, when small communities gathered around fires, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of nature. These were the pioneers, the first to call this immense territory home, leaving behind a legacy that we are only now beginning to understand. From these early beginnings, nomadic cultures began to flourish. Burial mounds, known as kurgans, dot the landscape, silent guardians of a once mighty people. Inside these earthen tombs, archaeologists have unearthed treasures that defy time, intricate pottery, finely crafted tools, and the very bones of those who lived and died here. These weren't just simple graves, they were elaborate statements of power and belief, portals to the afterlife, filled with offerings for the journey ahead. Each artifact is a piece of a puzzle, a clue to the complex societies that thrived in these ancient times, their stories waiting to be told. The steppes soon thundered with the sound of hooves. This was the age of the Scythians, a name that echoed with both fear and admiration across the ancient world. These masters of a horse, legendary archers and fierce warriors, created an empire on the move. Imagine them, clad in intricate armor, their banners details in gold, galloping across the endless grasslands. They were not just conquerors, but also sophisticated artisans, creators of the stunning animal-style art that adorned their weapons, clothing, and the golden treasures they buried with their kings. Their influence was immense, a bridge between the East and the West. The Scythians were not alone. Following them came the Sarmatians, another powerful nomadic confederation known for their female warriors who may have inspired the Greek myths of the Amazons. Animated maps show us the incredible scope of their world. These tribes were key players on the burgeoning Silk Road, their trade routes disembering like arteries across the continent, connecting them to the great civilizations of Persia, Greece, and even distant China. They traded furs, grains, and gold for silks, spices, and new ideas, creating a vibrant melting pot of cultures on the vast Eurasian steppe. Their legacy is one of movement, connection, and a fierce, untamable spirit. As the nomadic empires waned, a new chapter began to unfold in the dense forests to the north. Here, the early Slavic tribes started to build a different kind of world. Forget a sprawling stone fortresses. Picture instead imposing wooden strongholds, villages bustling with life, nestled along the riverbanks. These were communities of farmers, hunters, and skilled craftspeople. We see them tending fields, their hands shaping clay into pottery, their looms weaving intricate textiles. Trade flourished along the great rivers, which served as highways, connecting a scattered people and laying the groundwork for a shared identity. Life was rich with tradition and ritual. Their worldview was a tapestry of nature spirits and powerful deities, worshipped in sacred groves and honored with offerings. Close-ups of recovered artifacts reveal their spiritual world. Small, carved idols, protective amulets, and symbols of fertility in the harvest. These objects were not mere decorations. They were conduits to the divine, essential tools for navigating the blessings and challenges of daily life. This was a world deeply connected to the earth, a world of community, craftsmanship, and profound faith, setting the stage for what was to come. Then, from the north, came a new force, the Varangians, or Vikings, sailing their longships down the rivers. They came as traders, mercenaries, and eventually as rulers. Their arrival marked a pivotal moment, a catalyst that would forge a new and powerful state. The Kievan Rus. The fusion of Slavic culture and Norse dynamism created a civilization of incredible energy and ambition. Great cities like Kiev and Novgorod rose, their skylines soon to be dominated not by wooden forts, but by the golden domes of magnificent cathedrals. This era witnessed one of the most profound transformations in the region's history: the adoption of Orthodox Christianity. This wasn't just a change in religion. It was a reorientation of their entire civilization. It brought a new alphabet, a new legal code, and a deep connection to the Byzantine Empire, the inheritor of Rome. The Kievan Rus became a beacon of culture and power in Eastern Europe, a sophisticated state whose influence would be felt for centuries. This was the true dawn of Russia, a fusion of Slavic roots, Norse ambition, and Orthodox faith. From the first hunter-gatherers to the golden age of Kiev, the story of ancient Russia is one of constant transformation. It's a legacy written not just in chronicles, but in the earth itself, in the gold of Scythian tombs, and in the foundational stones of its first churches. This deep, complex history is the bedrock upon which modern Russia is built. As we look at the rich cultural heritage of today, its art, its music, its spirit, we can see the echoes of these ancient civilizations, a timeless connection to a past that is as grand, mysterious, and enduring as the land itself. Beneath the vast, endless sky of the Russian steppes, time itself seems to stand still. Rivers carve ancient paths through the land, silent witnesses to the rise and fall of empires. For centuries, we have heard the tales of Scythians and Sarmatians, horse lords who thundered across these plains. But Russia's story runs deeper, into the mists of time, where other, more mysterious civilizations carved their legacy into the very soul of this land. We journey back, beyond the familiar narratives, to uncover the forgotten empires and enigmatic tribes whose blood and spirit still flow through the veins of modern Russia. Here, amidst windswept ruins and unearthed treasures, a more complex and fascinating history awaits. A story of faith, conflict, and the enduring power of culture. For a time, they were the masters of the crossroads, a powerful empire that rose from the steppe to control the arteries of world trade. This was the Khazar Khaganate. Imagine bustling cities like Atil, their markets a kaleidoscope of cultures. Silk from the distant east, fragrant spices from the south, and gleaming gold from Byzantium all flowed through their hands. Their trade routes, glowing veins on the map of the ancient world, connected the Silk Road to the burgeoning kingdoms of the north. They were a beacon of tolerance in a turbulent age, a place where Jews, Christians, Muslims, and pagans lived and traded side by side. Fortified cities guarded the great Volga River, projecting power and wealth that made them a vital player between the Byzantine Empire and the Islamic Caliphate. The Khazars were not just conquerors, they were connectors, weaving together the disparate threads of civilizations. Their influence was a cornerstone upon which later powers would be built, a testament to a lost world of commerce and coexistence. Their legacy, though often overlooked, is a crucial chapter in the grand epic of the Eurasian heartland. While the Khazars dominated the southern plains, a different world thrived in the deep, brooding forests to the north. Here lived the Finno-Ugric peoples, ancient tribes whose connection to the land was primal and profound. Their world was one of dense taiga, shimmering lakes, and the whispering spirits of nature. We see them not in grand cities, but in the flickering firelight of sacred groves, where shamans communed with the otherworldly. Their spiritual life was etched into stone and wood, mysterious carvings of animal spirits and cosmic journeys, depicting a universe where the veil between worlds was thin. These were the keepers of ancient traditions, their lives governed by the rhythms of the seasons and the wisdom passed down through generations. Their beliefs, their languages, and their deep reverence for the natural world would seep into the Slavic cultures that later expanded into these lands, adding a unique, mystical dimension to the emerging Russian identity. They are the silent, ancient soul of the northern forests, a people whose spirit still whispers on the wind. The steppe was a crucible of conflict, a vast arena where cultures clashed and destinies were forged in fire and steel. For generations, the nomadic warriors of the plains were a force of nature. With thunderous hooves and arrows that flew like rain, they defended their lands and raided their neighbors. Animated battles bring these fierce encounters to life, showing the brutal, chaotic dance of steppe cavalry against the disciplined shield walls of the early Slavic tribes pushing eastward. These were not just battles for territory, they were struggles for survival that fundamentally shaped all who were involved. The Slavs learned from their adversaries, adopting their tactics, their mobility, and a measure of their indomitable spirit. In turn, the steppe warriors found themselves slowly drawn into the orbit of the settled peoples. This violent, prolonged interaction was a forge, hammering out the very character of the future Russian people, a unique blend of Slavic resilience and the wild, untamable spirit of the steppe. The echoes of these clashes would resonate for centuries, defining the frontiers of a new civilization. Out of this great cultural crucible, a new power began to rise. From the north, Viking longships, helmed by the intrepid Rus, sailed down the great rivers, seeking trade and conquest. They established strongholds, merging with the local Slavic and Finno-Ugric populations. This fusion of Norse ambition, Slavic resilience, and steppe adaptability gave birth to something new and powerful, the Kievan Rus. Glowing lines on our map trace the route from the Varangians to the Greeks, a vital artery connecting Scandinavia to the riches of the Byzantine Empire in Constantinople. Cities like Novgorod and Kiev flourished, becoming magnificent centers of power and faith. Grand cathedrals reached for the heavens, their domes gleaming with gold, their interiors adorned with breathtaking mosaics inspired by Byzantine artistry. This was a civilization born from the riverways, a dynamic fusion of cultures that looked to the east for its faith, to the north for its warrior elite, and to the land itself for its enduring strength. The foundations of Russia were now laid, built by Vikings, Slavs, and steppe peoples, united under a new faith and a shared destiny. As we stand in the present, the echoes of these ancient peoples are all around us. Their legacy is not confined to museums. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you were captivated by this hidden history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow our channel for more explorations into the forgotten corners of our world.